Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel. Here is another hike with Sisters from the Traveling Hiking Boots. Today is March 13th, 2021, and we will be hiking Land's End Trail in San Francisco. There's Carolina and Carrie, and we are missing our sister Holly because she's vacationing in Florida. And as you can see, it is chilly. I have my beanie on. I typically don't wear that. We start off the trail with a fantastic view of the Golden Gate Bridge. This part of the trail was pretty quiet. A wide trail, muddy because it rained the day before. But we were still open to hiking this beautiful trail. Across there you could see Marin, and that is the ocean there looking down. Here you could tell that it's pretty muddy as we start slushing through here. Carolina is wearing her new hiking shoes, and she is not a hiking boot person, but she is truly loving her shoes, I think, as she gallops in them. And the mud is kicking back on us. And we are going to be approaching this beautiful tree. You just can't, the camera doesn't do it any justice. These flowers that were blossoming on this tree were just so beautiful. A very deep fuchsia color with pink trim, and it was just beautiful. A little cute storybook bridge that we crossed. Another fantastic view of the Golden Gate Bridge. I love how, we walk and we could see peeking through the trees, the bridge. A little information on Land's End. Again, peeking through the tree is the bridge. So as it got later in the morning, the paths started becoming very heavily trafficked. We were maneuvering around people, and we're not used to this. Last week we were out at Tilden Park, and we did bump into quite a few people, but as you get in higher elevation, we don't bump into that many people. But here, this isn't a very high, it's not high elevation at all over here. The girls having some fun with me, teasing me about filming. Again, here's more people. We're going into the forest area here. This was a beautiful trail here. This kind of looked like something out of Hansel and Gretel. And this was the beginning of stairs. I didn't realize how many stairs this trail has, and it can be cumbersome on people who have knee injuries. And this trail took us behind the Legion of Honor. This is the parking lot, and that view there is of the Presidio golf course. So there is a short time that we were on pavement. And this is Carolina saying how Carrie got us lost because she didn't think that we were supposed to be on this trail, but actually this is part of the trail, so we were fine. We weren't lost.
Wow.
More pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge. There it is. That's the golf course. Presidio was an old army base, but it closed down, and I believe it's now given to the Parks and Recreation. Look at that view. It's just breathtaking. There is Kirby Beach. That is where my son and I filmed a video. And that's the Marin Headlands. That's Tennessee Valley there. So hopefully you'll get the opportunity to watch some of our hikes that we did there. We actually did Tennessee Valley in rain, but it was a fun hike. Here goes a mild incline. We're used to hiking big mountains like Mount Diablo and the Skyline Ridge in Napa, and so this didn't really give us much of a workout because the inclines were not too high in elevation, but we did get some beautiful scenery on this hike. You have to be careful over here because they do have poison oak. Or is it poison ivy? And they had some beautiful flowers here, just very tropical looking flowers here. Here we are, we're laughing because we bumped into some girls that were taking some Tinder pictures. That was pretty funny.
Oh, God, I keep taking pictures of me, so get in the background. Photobomb!
Oh, they're teasing me because I keep forgetting to turn off the record button for pictures.
Oh, that's pretty! Hold on. Just like that. Your tender picture. Come on. This is for tender. Get it right.
Wait, hold on. My hair looks sexy?
Actually, Carrie's the married one in the group.
Hey.
She's almost married.
Tessie, what did you just say? I just caught that. Go down low.
Carolina just... She was posing for a picture. That was like slow-mo. She was gripping the log.
That's what I get for trying to be fast.
How did it feel to roll off of the log when you were posing for your Tinder picture?
It happened all so fast.
And there you see beautiful Marin headlands. And now we're going to hit a traffic jam. It's heavily trafficked here. We are approaching some winding trails here where there's a lot of these wide steps. It does start to get bothersome on your knees because the steps are so wide. I don't recommend it for people who have knee injuries. Just a little bit of an incline, another picturesque view there. When Carolina fell off of the log, we weren't sure if she fell into a patch of poison oak. She did feel a little bit itchy there. More beautiful rocky landscape. And here we go, starting to descend down to the beach. This was a little bit painful on my knees, I must say, because we just kept going and going. There's more stairs down to the beach, but Carolina and I decided to take a look. This is a famous picture area here because you look through these branches and you could see the Golden Gate Bridge. More views, and here we are going down the stairs. Now, we were complaining at this point because we probably did a half mile going downstairs, and it would have been easier if it was just regular gravel on the trail or dirt, because it just, wow, for people who don't have knee problems, it was bothersome to us. So I can't even imagine what it would be like for people who do have knee problems.
And so these kind of stairs, steep to start down.
We are now deciding if we want to take this off trail because the trails that we came down were so heavily trafficked that we just wanted to get away from the crowds.
Where did you go? Did you go all the way? Yeah. We were taking pictures. Oh, the calla lilies.
Now we're veering off on another trail because we want to avoid those stairs. We prefer this over stairs.
And now we are in heaven. This is what we like to do. We love going off trail, hearing the gravel under our feet. It's just like kissing, our feet is kissing Mother Earth. And, you know, of course we came downstairs, so we are going to have to do incline to get back up to the main trail. I don't believe that this offshoot will show up on all trails because it was just like a side trail that we found coming off of the beach, and we didn't see very many people on this trail. Now what you're seeing there is Marin Headlands across the ocean, and we did a couple of hikes out over there, so hopefully you can watch our videos on Tennessee Valley and Kirby Beach. And look at this landscape here. It's rocky cliffs. Look at that ocean. It was very windy. And as we get closer to the edge, you'll see how rocky these cliffs are. But just look at that forest over there. It's beautiful. And actually, there's the trail that we came in that forest. That's where you saw a lot of those stairs that we were weaving in and out of. And this is, we are going to do a trail right off of that cliff. Here's me trying to climb up to get to another off trail. It was pretty steep, and here's Carolina making the decision to do this gracefully. Again, that's not a very wide path where that lady is standing. I want to say it's not even 2 feet wide.
All right, people,
And look how close we are to the edge here. Not recommended for people who are fearful of heights, and I am. I cannot believe I did this off trail. But we do whatever we have to do to avoid the crowds and just enjoy this scenery. I wish you could just feel how the wind was blowing and also the mist from the water. It just felt so refreshing. Ooh, that's pretty steep down there. I'm actually surprised that I filmed this. And there's that picture area that I told you about. It's these beautiful branches that you could look through. These are some more stairs that we had to, oh, these stairs we climbed up. We ran up these stairs, actually. And we're taking a breather right here before we run up the rest of the way. And that was a really cool rock formation that we saw. Now we are heading down towards the cliff house. And you're going to enjoy this. We are going to actually pass through the remnants of the Sutro Baths, and I will link some videos below in the description box, because the history of this area that we're entering in is so fascinating. The cliff house that we're going, you could see a little bit through those trees there. Let's see here. There we go. That's remnants of the Sutro Baths there. And that structure there is not the original cliff house, because that actually got damaged, but that still took on the name as the cliff house. And unfortunately, it didn't survive the pandemic, and they closed their doors this year. Look at these beautiful views as we are descending down towards the ocean. And these were different types of stairs. I decided to take the gravel path because I just didn't want to risk injuring my knees. And there's Carolina going down the stairs. Karry's already down there. We're getting closer to the ocean. This has to be one of my favorite parts of the hike because we were at Tennessee Valley, I want to believe early February, and we were at the beach there, and being at this side of the bay was so different, and the views here just, I don't know, it's kind of reminiscent of the Titanic. Look at those rocks there. Scary. That's where we came down from. So those of you who want to be adventurous, there are some off trails that you can do if you want to avoid the crowds. And now we're starting to enter through the Sutro Baths. And back in the day, this was just a beautiful destination. You know, it was already gone before I was even born. But, you know, I saw some documentaries on it. And, you know, it just looked like a beautiful place for families to entertain at. And this was pretty scary. Now that I look at this, I was concentrating more on filming than didn't realize how dangerous we were. I don't know how deep that water was, but if we fell in, I think it would have been more than 6 feet. Because remember, those were swimming pools back in the day. So you could see how deep those are there. Now we're really close to the water. We could literally feel the water splashing on us. I have to tell you, these girls were so much fun to hike with. They're just so adventurous. And, you know, Karry and I are in our 50s and Carolina's in her 30s, and even with the age gap, we just have so much fun. And we miss you, Holly. We wish you were here with us, because this would have been something you would have really enjoyed. Something so different from what we're used to hiking. And there you could see the cliff house. That's the newer part. Here I'm just talking about, it was so windy you couldn't hear what I was saying, but what I was trying to tell people was, or the viewers, is that I used to live in San Francisco, but I never experienced coming down to this tourist spot. You know, I lived here as a child and then also moved back to San Francisco for a brief stint with my husband at the time. And I'm so appreciative that I'm able to enjoy this, especially with these fun gals. Oh, Karry's cracking up here. She's trying to tell me how Carolina tripped in this little hole and almost fell into the ocean. But fortunately, that didn't happen. All this risk for that Kodak moment. Wow.
I could really feel the water splashing on my face.
Aw, safe and sound, and here is Carolina relaxing under the rocks.
I don't think you, maybe you can't see that, but those are people coming down some stairs.
Oh.
But that's the stairs coming down to the beach, but we didn't take that route. We took another route this way, behind those rocks there.
So here I am trying to film and climb up this, I don't want to say it was a hill, it was like a mound, trying to find the safest way to get up to where the other girls were and catching up with them. You know, I am actually a clumsy person, so for me to get up there without falling was a miracle. And our destination now is trying to get to the cliff house. And because we didn't want to hike up those stairs and then come back down to the street, we just decided to take the shorter path by going up this little mound here. And yep, you're going to see a spectacular view as we turn the corner here. Look at that. That's where we were. And now we're walking behind the Cliff House, and this was a new structure. This was a restaurant that I believe it was like 3 levels. It was so beautiful, and I'm really sorry to see that it closed. As we speak, they are actually auctioning off a lot of the items that were inside of there. And back in the day, they used to have the Nike marathon, women's marathon here, and the beach is where the ending point was. And I did that marathon. Well, I did the half marathon 4 years in a row, and enjoyed getting the Tiffany's necklace when we crossed the finish line. And yeah, that brings back memories. And here we are at Ocean Beach, and there's some volleyball players out on the beach, and there were a few surfers out there. What you're looking at is, it's not the original Cliff House, but it's the older Cliff House, and the other side was the newer Cliff House. There you could see it was since 1863. And now we're heading back. There's the Sutro Baths that we were at a few moments ago. And we're going to take those stairs back up to the parking lot. And we ended the day with dining in for the first time in San Francisco at a restaurant. This actually was not the restaurant, but it was a restaurant somewhere down in Ghirardelli Square. And I'd just like to thank you for watching our video, and please consider subscribing and leaving us any kind comments. We would love to know what you think of our hikes, and we'd love your feedback. Thank you so much.